You need to think like an absolute lunatic to get everything that you want, to get the things in life that you have been dreaming of for so long. Thinking like a lunatic does not mean that you belong in a mental asylum, and it does not mean that you don't care about anybody in your life except you. That is not what that means. But rather what it means is taking on a mindset that regardless of the situation, regardless of where you're at, regardless of what happens, things are going to work out. You are going to achieve that goal. It doesn't matter how long it takes, doesn't matter how much effort it takes, it doesn't matter who stands in your way, you will get there. Because at the end of the day, your mind forms your reality. If all you see is negativity, if all you think is things aren't going to work out, if that's all that fills your mind, that is what's going to happen. Versus when you think that things are going to work out, when you believe that things are going to happen for you, when you believe that the best is going to occur, that's what will happen. You will not tolerate people who are going to pull you down. You will not tolerate situations that do not benefit you. You will not tolerate being belittled or told that you cannot do it. And you will not do that to yourself either, because you know for a fact that you are going to make it happen. So what everybody else has to say does not matter. The things that are going to distract you, you will kick it to the curb. The things that are going to hurt you, you're going to kick it to the curb, because you are so focused on what you want for yourself, the life that you want for yourself, that if there is a distraction, if there's something that's going to hurt you and harm you and thus harm your future, harm what you're going to do, you will not stand for it. Your mind starts to shift to look for things that are going to be of benefit to you, to look for things that are going to help you, and to protect you from the things that are not going to benefit you, that are not going to help you, and are not going to feed your goal, but rather distract you and hurt you and all those things.
If you have been enjoying today's video so far, please consider joining my Patreon. You'll get access to exclusive content, behind the scenes, and more. Link will be in the description below. Can't wait to see you there.
A really great part about it is over time, you stop looking at things as being realistic or unrealistic. Instead, you're like, it's going to happen either way. So I don't know what this word realistic means, like that word ain't in my dictionary, because I know that is going to happen. And so as you are shifting the way that you think, something really big that I want you to do is to not look at life looking for what's the norm. Don't look at life looking for, let me do what I see other people do. Let me do what I see other people accomplishing. Let me do only what I know that other people are going to believe is possible for me. I don't want you to look at your accomplishments, look at your life, look at what you can do based upon what you see other people being able to do, what you see other people accomplishing, because you can do something that's abnormal, because you have skills that other people don't have. We all are so unique. And so just because this area isn't somebody's strong suit doesn't mean that it's not a strong suit of yours. Just because it's common for people to struggle in this area does not mean it is going to be common for you to struggle in that area. And here's a great example. Being in high school, this is why I need you to distinguish yourself. Being in high school, being in middle school, being in college, there were classes that you were really good at, and you knew unconsciously or consciously that you were good at. Now, I say consciously or unconsciously because you may have not actually known, but internally you were still good at it. And what can happen is if you are really good at a class, but it's a common thing for other people in the class to be struggling, and or your peers are struggling in that class, you can start to mimic their mistakes. You can start to mimic what they are getting wrong. You begin to purposefully, again, consciously or unconsciously, purposefully mess up your work, mess up your homework, mess up on your tests, not do as good, not pay attention, because you want to be where everybody else is at. So though you're up here, because you are abnormal, you unconsciously begin to pull down here where everybody else is at. So you can do that, again, consciously or unconsciously. I caught myself doing that in college, where a lot of people were talking about how classes were so difficult and how, you know, it took so much time to get through them and messing up and failing and all this other stuff. And I started to mimic that, where then classes for me started to take longer because all my peers were talking about how it was so difficult in college. People who I knew that had graduated college were talking about how difficult college was. So I made it difficult in my own mind. And then at some point I snapped out of it and I was like, what the heck am I doing? Like, It was not hard for me before. All of a sudden I'm having this hard time because I'm trying to fit in to the idea that other people have put out there. So be conscious of what you are agreeing to. Again, it can be conscious, it can be unconscious, but you have to be aware and conscious of what you are agreeing to, because it can shape, inform, and change the way that you act. And thus, what was possible for you, you have now made impossible for you. And you can always switch back. So it's not like just because you've done this for X amount of time or whatever means that this is always going to be the case and you can't go back to how it was. You can't, no, the skills are still in you, okay? The talent is still in you. You just need to unlock it again. Don't fall victim to doing certain things or performing in certain ways or acting a certain way or accomplishing certain things simply because that's what society says that's the best that you can do. That's all that you can do. Don't limit yourself based off of the ideas that have been put out there, because you could be doing it consciously or unconsciously, but make sure that you start to pay attention to your habits, how you act, what you do, what you're thinking, so that you can see if you're doing it or not. Because remember, being exceptional takes exceptional thinking. So think differently than the norm. You don't have to agree with everything. Take what the norm does and make it exceptional for yourself. And I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but what I mean is that maybe the norm says that you can only get a B in the class, but you will change the norm for yourself to something exceptional. You tell yourself, no, it's the norm for me to get an A in this class. It's a norm for me to get an A+ in this class. Change the norm in your mind and make it exceptional. And tell yourself these things every day. Tell yourself positive things every day, because your negative thoughts can affect you. It can affect your outcome. It can affect how you act. It can affect your work ethic, and it can affect the way that you think, and it can overall affect your life. And if something is going to affect your life, you want it to affect your life for the better, not the worse. Don't think that you can't make it happen. Every time you tell yourself the opposite. Every time you tell yourself that, stop yourself, be like, hold up, that is not true, and tell yourself the opposite. And just because it maybe didn't work out in the past does not mean that it's not going to work out now. Thinking big, thinking ambitious, thinking out the box, thinking that you can make anything happen deems you crazy, unrealistic, in la la land until it works. And now all of a sudden you're a success. So don't care about the lunatic labels, okay? Think like a lunatic to get what you want. Think that it can happen. If someone calls you Delulu, who cares? You can make it happen because you have the strength to make it happen. If you did enjoy today's video, please consider joining my Patreon. I'll put the link down in the description below. Please make sure to take care of yourself, watch over yourself fully. Thank you again for watching so far, and seriously, take yourself seriously, take your life seriously, watch over yourself. Don't stress yourself out, but take care of yourself and watch over yourself fully. Treat yourself with respect. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye.